that pole. Bye.
Hey, I'm saying, right, whatever it is, I'm not making zero tolerance.
Yeah.
I have zero tolerance for that driver and zero tolerance for anyone misconducting. So at this point, it's a he or she say. So I can't have that.
No, but what did she say?
It doesn't matter what she said.
Oh, okay.
It matters what I say.
Yeah, all right.
All right. The person who runs this facility is me.
For sure. Yeah.
So if I want you to leave, you need to leave. If I want her out too, she's out too. She knows that this is her supervisor, and I let her supervisor know, and it'll be addressed accordingly. It's that simple. It doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what he says, it doesn't matter what you say, it matters what I say. I run this facility.
Yeah, all right.
All right?
Yeah, all right.
All right.
I just got off this job called SpeedX. It's like an Amazon packaging spot. So I'm at the job. And ever since I worked there, bro, like, be weird. So I'm at the job. And I'm working, you hear me? Like, working, and then I don't know, I just see this boy, he was looking at me. This boy, I'm gonna describe you, this boy. From what I'm looking at, man, this dude just looked like a wankster ass nigga. Like, what he got the California braids in his head. But he got glasses at the same time. So he don't know what he is. He in between getting a job and trying to be a gangster. So he looking at me, bro. I'm like, what the hell this nigga looking at me for? He just was staring at me, bitch. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm looking at homie, bro. I'm like, bro, he looking at me. As he looking at me, I caught him looking at me. And then I'm looking at his ass back. I'm like, nigga, what you looking at? We all working. It's like we busy. Everything going, packages going in the box. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just got their head down, working. I'm working. Got my head down, just getting the packages, throwing them in the box. I'm going back, head down, looking at the package numbers, seeing which way it go at. Just throwing them in the box, bomb. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking at nobody. I'm not paying attention to nobody, but I'm looking around. Because, you got to pay attention to your surroundings. Because these packages, they be flying. They be flying anywhere. So still, you got to be, aware of your surroundings, bitch. I'm like, all right. So my head up still, doing my job. And then see this nigga just stop. He just looking at me. I'm like, what the fuck this nigga looking at? I'm looking at him like, and he see me looking at him like, and then he just looked like, oh shit. Like I'm looking at this nigga. I'm like, what the fuck? So, I don't know, this nigga thinking some shit talking about, he probably looking at me saying that I'm crazy. Everybody know my business, dog. So, I don't know. He probably thinking that I'm crazy or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I got a mask on. I don't know. So, all of a sudden, there was a girl. So, for some reason, he was scared of me for something. I ain't threatening the nigga. I ain't never speak to the nigga. I just was walking by the man, bro. Nigga, I'm walking behind him. He looking back. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, he's scared. I'm like, what the fuck this dude scared of? Bitch, I'm just doing my job, bitch. I'm trying to get paid and slide back to the spot, man. He looking back, so he's scared. So it was a dyke bitch that was over there. I'm looking at the dyke bitch. stood right in front of me. This dyke bitch stood right in front of me. She just stood right in front of me, dog. Like I dropped some packages in a box, and there was really no way to go. It was only that way, and she was blocking right in the middle of the lane. So it was a little room, but I couldn't fit. So when I was walking, I just poked her. I just like, yo, I'm behind you. I'm behind you. I'm coming through. She knew what that shit meant. And she hit me with the package. I'm like, bro, you ain't had to hit me with the package, or you could have said excuse me. It's like, what the fuck? I'm like, bitch, you know I'm behind you, bitch. Get the fuck out of the way, right? I just poked the hole. It wasn't much even a saw poke, because I could have fit through. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? You touch somebody's shoulder and then you slide like right into the little crack that you could fit in. But I didn't touch her. I just poked her like this. And I slid through. And when I slid through, she hit me with the package. I'm like, bitch, don't hit. I said, bitch, don't hit me with that shit. Oh, you should have said excuse me. I'm like, man, bitch, you in the fucking way. You already know you got to get out the way. You in the way. You know she see me. She feel me. She just stood there. She know I'm there. She still didn't want to move out the way. She know I'm coming through. She know I just dropped the package and the thing. Bitch didn't want to move. I was like, what the fuck? So she was trying to start some shit. She hit me with a package. And then the first thing she said something about, oh, yo stank ass mask. Because I had a mask on. I always put my mask on when I'm around a crowd of people, you know. Got my mask right here. She said, yo, stank ass mask. Nah, this shit is... I was like, why the fuck would you say stank? Like, out of all the shit you could say, first thing she say, stank ass mask. Nah, there was another situation. Nah, this is tied with the mask. Because ever since I've been working there, I've been coming in that bitch with a mask. I'm wearing a mask. You feel me? There was a girl there. There was a girl there. I don't know. She tried to start some shit with me. And I don't know why, bro. Like, she just came in there and then she's trying to tell me to do something. And I was like, no. Like, I said, no, I'm going to do it my way. This is the way I usually do it. I'm going to put my numbers right here. Because I was working on a box. It was my box. It was assigned to me. It was my box. So she come way from where she at. And she's trying to tell me what to do. And she just started. Like, I've been working there before she been working there. She telling me what to do. I'm like, and she literally grabbed. Because, like, when I'm doing a box, they got bins. You got to get like 2 bins to put right next to your box. So I had grabbed 2 bins. I put it next to my box. She came way over there to where I'm at. She like, yo, why won't you? She pulled my box. I'm like, no, this is my box. This is my car. She said, I know. You should do it like that. I'm like, why the hell would I do it like that? I like it to be right here. Like, my preference. She's telling me how to do it, but I prefer to put it this way, close to me. So after that, she she just been acting weird. And then there was one day she came to the job and she had her period on. It's funky, because she was stanking up the spot. So I don't know, bro. It's like, she was just stank, bro, right? Because she got her period on and she smelled. And then, I got my mask on. And this is not the first time a female got mad at me for wearing a mask. Like, every time I wear a mask, the only people that be mad be the females. I ain't never encountered a dude or a guy who came up to me, why you wearing that mask? Every time it's a female. And I be wondering, like, why these hoes be getting so mad because you got a mask on? Because you got to look at it through a female eyes, bro. Imagine, like, you a female and you got your period on and you stink. Now, if a guy coming around wearing a mask, oh, you stink. You know what I'm saying? Because we wearing a mask because you smell. We don't want to smell that shit. You feel what I'm saying? So we put on a mask because you stink. You feel me? So that's how I kind of feel like that's what it is. Because why the fuck you getting mad because somebody wearing a mask? It just don't make any sense. The motherfucker want to wear a mask. That's his preference. Let the man wear his mask. It's not bothering nobody. Nothing. Only the bitches get mad. So the whole came to work with period on. That shit was just disgusting. So the first thing, when I almost get into a fight with that bitch, first thing she say, oh, you wearing that stank ass mask. It's like, what? I said, bitch, you stink. I told that whole bitch, you stink. I said, go suck a dick. You feel me? I'm calling her all types of shit. The first thing she say, you wearing that stank ass mask. Like, what? So you know what the problem is. The mask, dog. I don't know why they don't like the mask, bro. They just don't like the mask. Even when we had COVID. Bitch, I'm at fucking Subway. And this is where motherfuckers was telling people, you gotta wear a mask. Oh, you coming over here, man, you have to wear a mask to come in here. Shit like that. I used to wear a mask and shit, you feel me? I'm like, it don't matter. It was a girl at Subway. Bro, this whole talking all over the condiments and the sandwiches and shit. And it's COVID, bitch, it's mandatory, you gotta wear that shit. She like, COVID-19 ain't real. She talking all over the food, like, I'm like, dog, what the fuck is you doing, man? COVID-19 not real. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with this hoe? Talking all over the food, dog. That was the first time I ever seen some shit like that. And then she working at a Subway. So I ain't never seen no guy do the shit. That's all I'm saying, dog. It was no males just trying to go against what they saying on TV and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just the females. But yeah, man. So I got into it with the bitch. Went to the manager. Told the manager the shit. The hoe gets scared. The hoe gets spooked, bro. She got spooked. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make it seem like she big and bad because she know I'm about to call the police on that hoe, bitch. I'm like, hold up. You just assaulted me with a package. I asked the manager. I said, yo, you ain't got the camera footage. This hoe just hit me with a package. He like, nah, the cameras don't work. We just put them there to make it seem like we got cameras and shit. I don't know. I think he capping. Because at the end of the day, what I would have did, I would have called the police on that hoe. And I still want to call the police on that hoe because dog, cause they plotted on me, man. The only reason why she did that shit, because homie got scared. He was scared of me, so she tried to show, don't be scared of him. Don't be scared of him. Like, man, I was finna swing on that hoe, bro. Like, man, that hoe thinking that I won't hit her ass. She sizing me up and everything, bro. Like, she walking by me and shit. The first time she walked by me, you know, like, I felt like she was just trying to size me up. So then the second time, like, and then she nodded her head like, yeah. I don't know. I think she probably wanted to fight me. Like, we probably would have got it into it. We probably would have got into it right then and there, dog. I don't know. And then they would have tried to make it seem like, oh, he crazy. He crazy. Like, I don't be understanding that shit, dog. Like, every time I get into something, motherfucker be like, oh, you got a mental problem. Like, but what a mental problem at? My brother does the same shit. The nigga stole my weight set. And then he trying to say, oh, he got a mental problem. Oh, just because he got a mental problem. I'm like, bro, what mental problem I got, bitch? I still haven't really seen none of that shit yet. So the nigga tried to steal my weight set, and then he tried to say, oh man, he got a mental problem. And then when I sued him, man, no, that shit was just so weird. Like, I brought this nigga to court. And this nigga like he still didn't understand. Like, bro, like, you stole my weight set. It's like, bro, like, I couldn't really explain it, man. Like, the nigga, what the man did was, like, he stole my weight set. He stole it and he sold it for I don't know, he said $20. So after the nigga sold my weight set, he stole my shit. So I called the police. I said, man, somebody stole my weight set. I think it was my brother. So he go to the cop. He tell the cop, man, I threw that shit away. So I'm like, bro, how the fuck you gonna throw away my shit like that? He said, I threw it away. And then he like, man, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. He tell the cop he threw it away. And I'm like, bro, I say, you know what? I'm gonna sue this motherfucker. I bring this bitch to court, and then he still was saying he threw it away. I'm like, okay, bro, you threw it away, so now you gotta give me my money. But he looking at it like, I'm not gonna give you no money. You crazy. Like, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is you talking about? I like, bro, you literally stole you literally took something that belongs to me and you threw it away, dog. Like, how the fuck do you get to, like, I just didn't understand, like, why the fuck he thought that he could just take my shit and then say, oh yeah. And then he tried to call my, like, when we was talking, we was in the courthouse. We was talking to a judge. And then he's telling the judge, like, I was telling him the story, right? I was like, man, took my weight set, you know what I'm saying? And he threw it away, you know what I'm saying? And I wasn't there. And then he was listening to what I was saying. And then I was like, man, he owed me like $100, $150, man. My weight set was like, it was good still. Got pictures and everything. I had caddies on that shit. I told him, I'm like, man, nigga took my shit, threw it away. And then he looked at me. He's like, and then you know, it was my turn to talk. And then after I was finished talking, after I said all that, it was his turn to talk. First thing come out his mouth. Okay, so he's crazy, and he started saying some other shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, bro. Like, I don't think he knew what the fuck was going on, bro. Like, I'm looking at this nigga like, are you serious? Like, he want to bring the crazy card in the court. He's crazy. And then he said, the nigga said, oh, my mom paid the bills and he doesn't pay nothing. And I was like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Oh, he doesn't pay nothing. He walks around here, he plays video games, and he sits around the house, he don't have a job. This and that. And I was like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? And then he said, I can call my mom right now and say that he's crazy. So all his whole talk was about me being crazy. I don't have a job. Bitch, I had a job. And I told her, I said, bitch, I got a job. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. He's just kept on trying to say I'm crazy. I got a mental problem. After, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm looking at him like, bro, this nigga is literally crazy, bro. This nigga don't know what the fuck what's going on right now. Bro, you literally took my fucking weight set, threw it away in the trash can, and then you want to come to court and say that I'm crazy. Then he tried to call my mom. My mom goes out there and she said, oh, he's crazy. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? These people took my shit and then they want to play the crazy card to try to say that I'm crazy. So at the end of the day, they had to pay me 80. Well, that bitch ass court lady, man, the bitch ass judge hole. I told that bitch I wanted $100. They said, nah. She said, would I settle for 80? So I was like, all right, let me get 80. So the motherfucker had to pay me $80 for my weight set. I got the $80. I bought me another one for $60. I pocketed $20. Well, I don't know. I think I bought another one for $120. Put it right back at the same spot where they took my weight set from. So, you know what I'm saying though? So now I'm working and then we got this bitch, she just come out of nowhere trying to fuck with me. Like, this is what everybody try to do, dog. Try to play this crazy card to say that I have a mental health problem. And I'm looking at the shit like, bro, what a mental health problem at? Where the fuck that shit at, man? I caught a couple of charges. That shit like 20 years ago. Back when I was like still 19 years old, bro. I'm like grown man. When I was about 19 years old, dog. And they still trying to play something, trying to say, oh, he got a mental health problem. I'm not on any medication. I don't. And then it was another thing my brother used to do. When I had got out of jail, he like, go talk to your that was his shit that he used to say. Go talk to your psychiatrist. It's like, what? I don't have a psychiatrist. And it was a situation where my license was suspended. My license was suspended, man, and they gave me this paper to say that I need to go see a psychiatrist to fill it out in order for me to drive. So I'm like, man, what the fuck? I'm like, how the fuck these people gonna send me this shit? Bitch, I went to go see, when I was in jail, they had me in the psych ward or some shit. Like my lawyer pleaded out some shit to try to make it seem like, you know, because I had a whole bunch of charges, and he tried to make it seem like I was crazy. And I guess he tried to make me, you know, get a reduced sentence or whatever. But regardless of what that is, man, they were trying to see if I was on, you know, psych meds or some shit. So I think I had went to go see a psychiatrist to fill out the paper. And then once he filled it out, the motherfucker wanted to see me again. Like, the whole thing was about him signing the paper and letting the people know that I'm not on any kind of medication. So that was the whole thing about that little paper shit. Like, it wasn't for me to see a psychiatrist. It was just for me to, like, they wanted to know if I was on any medication, because it's like, it says take this paper to your psychiatrist. But when I jumped out of prison, I didn't have any psychiatrists. I didn't have nobody that I see regularly, because you're supposed to take it to somebody you see regularly. And that's what it said on the paper. So when I had called the people for the DMV, I told them, I'm like, man, why the fuck y'all sent me this? I don't have a psychiatrist. And then it said, but then why did they send it to you? I was like, I don't know. It says, bring this to my psychiatrist. So it's like, I have somebody that I see on a regular. Bring it to them. That's how I was saying it. Like, I'm like, I called them out, and she said, well, if you don't have one, you might as well just go ahead and purchase one, and they'll fill it out. And I was like, okay, so that will count as something, you feel me? So I had to go out, search online, and pay somebody to be my psychiatrist. Had to pay like $300 just for one session. So I paid the motherfucker, man, and he signed the paper. So he asked me all the questions that was on there, and he asked me some more other questions. But what he fucked me over because he said he wanted to see me more at the end. No, because at the end it was one question. At the end of it, it says, but the question that was on there was kind of weird. It was like, it was saying, all right, so like it was personal questions, like it was questions to say like, all right, what is your prescription plan, or what medications you have him on at the moment, or in the past have he been doing like, you know, like I've been with the man for a minute, like, you know what I'm saying? So at the end it says, oh, so do you think he's able to drive a vehicle at the end? And then he said, oh, he don't know. The psychiatrist wrote on the little notes, he said, oh, well, I don't know, I have to see him more. So I didn't read what he said. I didn't really read what he said. All I did was I turned it into the DMV, and then they said I'm still not able to drive. I was like, what the fuck? Well, I can't drive. And then there was a black girl on the other line to say like, oh, you didn't read what the paper said? She said your psychiatrist stated that he don't know if you're able to drive. And I was like, dog, it don't matter what he said. The whole gif or the whole situation was they wanted to know if I'm on medication. Because if you on some mental medication, bitch, you can't drive a fucking car. That shit might make you drowsy. You might be driving and you fall asleep at the wheel or something. That's really what it was all about. But they try to make it seem like, oh, you got a mental health problem, you can't drive a car. Like, how the fuck I can't drive a car if I got a mental health problem? Anybody could drive a car. It's really, you know, regarding about the medication. So, you know, I think my family has something to do with that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because of it was a black girl on the line, and the shit that they was talking about didn't make no sense. They were talking about some, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you gotta do it again. You gotta go to see the doctor again. So I had to I don't know what happened, man. I didn't go see him again. What they did was the motherfuckers, I paid the motherfucker 3 times. Like, I stopped seeing the man because I kind of felt like he was trying to get me for my money, dog. You know what I'm saying? So I paid him 1 time. All I needed to do was pay his ass 1 time. He fill out the paperwork, say that I'm good to drive, because the reasons, dog, you can't, like, the paper was asking questions, like simple questions that the DMV stated. But the main questions they was asking was about drugs, if I'm on any drugs, like if I'm taking any medications. It wasn't really asking about like, is he stressed out? It was about 12 questions, and all those 12 questions was about drugs. Like, what kind of drugs am I taking? What kind of drugs did I took in the past? How many doses I'm taking? All that shit was all about drugs and shit, and what kind of medications I'm taking. It had nothing to do with no stress. Is he depressed? You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, shit like that. Had none of them questions. So I read all that shit, and I'm putting two and two together. I'm like, oh, they just want to see if I'm on any kind of medication then, because I'm like, why the fuck would they send me this shit? And then I'm looking at the shit like, oh, okay, because they said I can't drive unless I see a psychiatrist. So I read the questions, but it was all about drugs and what drugs I took in the past. And then at the end, he said that to conclude. And then the last question said, do you think he is capable of driving a vehicle? And then if you add all those things up, if I'm on any medications and doing this, I'm on depressants, or how many doses I'm taking every month, combined with all those things, all those questions that they asked, and all the questions that he asked, am I able to drive a vehicle with all these questions before that? And you know what I'm saying? And it's supposed to say yes or no, because if I was on any kind of medication, and they said, and then it was another question, does these medications make him drowsy? Or what are the effects of the medications that he's taking? But all those questions had to be NA. He's not on any medications. I'm not giving him any doses, this and that. So all them questions, he don't much even know me. He's not my psychiatrist. So, you know what I'm saying? So all them questions, he just had to put like, he don't know, no, nay, he's not on it. He telling me he's not on anything. I'm not giving him any doses. This is my first time seeing him. Shit like that. And at the end, it says, from your whatever, do you think he's able to drive a vehicle? And then he said, I don't know. I got to see him some more times. I was like, how the fuck you gonna see me more times? Like, bro, like, you were trying to get me for my money. So he said, so after I submitted that paper to the DMV, they said, oh, you didn't read the paper? It stated that he has to see you more. And I was arguing with the bitch. I'm like, man, that don't mean nothing, dog. The whole thing is about, bitch, I'm not on any medication. She like, nope. He has to say that you can drive in order for you to drive. I was like, what the fuck? All that shit didn't make no sense, dog, because it didn't make any sense, man, because if I can drive, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not on any medications, like that's the whole reason about driving a vehicle. Your mood doesn't determine if you can drive a car or not, man. You feel what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's mad, he's not driving. Like, what? Oh, he's depressed, he's not driving. Like, come on, man. So that right there was telling me something was wrong with the system. Like, they was trying to, my people's, dog, had something to do with that shit, because my brother, I kind of felt like my family had something to do with that shit. I know they had something to do with that shit, because when I had called the place, the people who was asking me about the medication shit, it was a black bitch, a ghetto black bitch. She was loud and shit, bro. Like, you know, I was looking at this shit like, oh yeah, this is some bullshit. I knew it was bullshit from the jump because it didn't make any sense. So after I seen that, I was like, yup, this shit's some bullshit. So after that, you know, the nigga stole my weight set. You know, what else he did? I had bought me an RV. I tried to do the Airbnb. The fucked up thing about it, man, is like I had an Airbnb, right? And I couldn't park it in front of my house. So as soon as I parked the shit in front of my house, I don't know, the police came. They was talking shit, talking about some, oh, I can't park it there and this and that. You know what I'm saying? And I had to close it in the enclosure and shit. And I was like, how the fuck can I not purchase a vehicle? It don't matter what kind of vehicle it is, and park the shit in front of my house if the shit fits in the parking lot. If it fits, this is an RV, right? But it fits in it fits in my parking lot. So I'm looking at the shit like, bro, that shit don't make no sense. If I can purchase a vehicle and it fits in the parking lot of where I'm staying at, why the fuck can I not leave it there? It's not bothering anybody. It fits in my parking lot. It ain't like it's some big old long ass fucking RV that's going into the road. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So I'm looking at the shit like, bro, this shit don't make sense. And they put a sticker on my fucking vehicle. And then like right when I had got my tag, I got me a tag. And then they never put a sticker on my shit. So the whole time, it was because I didn't have a tag on the vehicle. I had put a Florida tag on the shit, and then they stopped fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? But they still came and said, oh, nobody can't stay in there. Shit like that. I was like, what the fuck? So I said, fuck that shit. No, they ain't never tell me nobody can't stay in there. Or something. They said, yeah, I think they did say that. But I think I came in and I said, I had an Airbnb. You know, so I had listed my Airstream for Airbnb. So I had a guest come over. And then after that, I had a little verbal shit came over. And then my brother called the police on me. My mom and my brother. Both of them motherfuckers called the police on me. And then he stated, he said, oh, he got somebody in there. He got somebody in there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so it's like the code enforcement people only told me that shit. He said, like, he was telling me the rules of what I could and could not do. And I think one of the rules said you can't sleep in there or some shit. I forgot what it was, but he did something. He said something about you can't have something in there. Nobody can't sleep in there. And I don't know, I think I still went ahead and had somebody sleep in that shit. I don't remember, dog, but something. But I had it listed as a verbal or whatever. But he told me that shit. So he called. So I had a guest come over for verbal. He came over to Airbnb. So he came over, and then next thing you know, motherfucker called police on me, dog. Oh, he got somebody in there. And then the cops was like, so? And then he kept on saying that shit. But he got somebody in there, though. And then the cop was like, but that's his guest. That's his guest. He can have somebody. He can have guests. He stays here. He can have guests. But he has somebody in there. And I was like, what the fuck? He kept on saying that shit. The cops kept on saying, but he's got that he can have friends over. He's not breaking any laws. He can have friends over. He said, I know he can have friends over, but he got somebody in there, though. Somebody is living in there. He can have guests over. And then until I came in, I was like, man, what the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? I had to interrupt these motherfuckers. They kept on going back and forth saying about the same shit. But he got somebody in there. So when I'm hearing that, I kind of peep game like, what? So the code enforcement people said I can't have nobody living in there. And then he kept on saying that shit like he was trying to tell a cop like he's not allowed to have nobody in there. And it's like, how the fuck can I not have nobody in there when it's an RV? You can go in there. Like, it's in front of my house. I can sleep in my shit. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make any sense. So I don't much even think that was even a law, because I go back and forth in that bitch. I sleep in that shit when I want to, but majority of the time I don't sleep in that shit. But I go in that shit, I sleep in that shit when I want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's about it. But it was just weird how he was kept on saying it like he was, like he already knew the rules about that shit. And I was like, how the fuck do he know the rules about it? He don't much even got an RV or nothing like that. And it was another situation too where I was trying to get my hair. I was getting dreads, right? I needed to get some dreads, and I was trying to think about ways to get a dread style for my dreads or whatever. So I'm looking in the internet, and then I seen a little dread style that I liked. It was like a mohawk. It was like a mohawk dread. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get that shit. So I took a picture of it on my phone. I was like, all right. This is shit I'm gonna get. It's like, I say about 2 weeks later, my brother walk in, the same hairstyle that I took a picture of. I'm like, what the fuck going on here, bro? And it's like, I'm on my personal computer. We don't share computers. We share Wi-Fi, bro, but ain't no way he don't much even got a computer. So put it like that. And he don't know my password. He don't know my password. He ain't got a computer. I'm in my own fucking computer. We ain't got cameras in the house. But this nigga know the exact hairstyle that I wanted and that I was gonna get. And I was like, what the fuck? So that shit was crazy. So it kind of would explain everything else. He kept on saying, "Oh, you fucking psychiatrist. Go see a psychiatrist." When I ain't got no psychiatrist, the only thing that I had was a paper to say I needed to drive, and so I wonder why. And he kept on trying to use that crazy card. He kept on trying to say, "Oh yeah, you go see a psychiatrist." I'm like, I don't have a psychiatrist. But then again, I got a paper to say, "Oh, bring this to your psychiatrist when you get out of jail." And then I called the people and I said, "Hey, why did you guys send me this paper? I don't have a psychiatrist." "Well, I don't know. You got to bring it to your psychiatrist." "I don't have a psychiatrist though." "Well, I don't know." She and I had to call this bitch like 3-4 times. And I'm telling her, I'm like, man, I want this paper to be gone, man. I don't have a psychiatrist. Y'all sent me this shit. And it says literally on there, it says, "Bring this to your psychiatrist." And I'm like, bro, I don't have a psychiatrist. How the fuck I'm gonna bring this shit to my psychiatrist? And at the time, I didn't know you can hire a psychiatrist. I didn't know that shit. I didn't know you can go onto Google or some shit and search for somebody that's a psychiatrist and you pay them. I thought if you crazy for real, bitch, they're just gonna appoint one to you. You're gonna just go to a psychiatrist. You have to. That's what you gotta do. So I never knew that shit. So I'm like, I don't have a psychiatrist. What you want me to do? Like I got a paper, bitch. I'm trying to get my car. I want to drive, bitch. I'm like, bro, like what the fuck I'm gonna do? I don't have one. I don't. You know what I'm saying? And then they told me, they said, well, you got to go to your psychiatrist. So I had to call the prison because I had a psychiatrist in the prison. Everybody had one because that's where I pleaded out to because I had all them charges and shit. So I had to call the jail, some shit like that to say something. And they were like, nah, you don't have a psychiatrist with us or some shit, whatever. I don't much even remember, but it led to nowhere, and I was telling him, I said, man, let me speak to your manager. You know, the people who gave me that paper, I said, man, I want to speak to your manager, man, because I want this paper. I don't have a psychiatrist. You guys sent me this paper, and it's stopping me from driving the car. So the lady like, all right, I'm going to have my manager call you. When the manager called me, it was a black bitch, ghetto, loud talking out. You already know the whole, bitch didn't like me for some reason. So I told her, I'm like, man, what you want me to do, man? You guys sent me this paper. You know what I'm saying? I called everywhere, man. And they said that I can't see no people in jail. Like, I had to talk to I wanted to go see the psychiatrist in jail because they had something to this hospital. You know what I'm saying? And then, they was checking you out every month, making you speak to a doctor. I say, man, I called them over there. They said, man, I checked out. I'm good. Like, I don't need, I'm not crazy. They said that's what they determined to say that I'm not crazy and shit like that. That's why they checked me out. The only reason why I was in there to see if I was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so they checked me out. So I can't go back there. That was when I was in jail. And she like, oh yeah. And she was like, well, that paper is not letting you drive, so I don't know. And I kept on telling her, I'm like, so what you want me to do? Why I just want to take the paper away? She like, well, we can't do that. She said something about the state sent me that shit. She said, oh, well, so what I suggest, if you don't have a psychiatrist, go hire one. Go buy one. Go hire one. I was like, what? For real? She's like, yeah, you can hire psychiatrists. And it was like, it just because it didn't make sense. How the fuck you gonna hire somebody to say, I don't know. That's what white people do. So I guess that's what they do. They hire a psychiatrist because they feel like they crazy. They need help. So they pay the man. They pay the person to say like, yo, am I crazy or I need to speak to somebody? So that's why I was just looking at the shit like that shit don't make no sense. If I'm crazy, like the motherfucker could just, like, if he wanted my money, say for instance, but that's what I was saying, like, why would you pay for a psychiatrist? All he gonna do is just say you crazy just to get more money out you. You feel me? Like, oh yeah, you got problems, man. like how you know you gonna be good? Like, you don't know if you good or not, because at the end of the day, it's money, dog. Like, come on, man. Like, why the fuck would I say that if I was a psychiatrist, why the fuck would I say that you good if you pay, like, every time you see me, you pay me. Every time you see me, you pay me, dog. So why the fuck would I not want to see you, bro? I want to see you every fucking time. I want to make sure you fucked up. Like, you ain't got no point of return of being sane or not crazy. The more crazy that you is, the better. So I'm looking at the shit like, why the fuck would I pay somebody? All he's gonna say is that I'm crazy, like, you know. So that's why I was like, what? People could do that shit? Because I never knew that shit. Like, why would you pay somebody to do that shit? All they're gonna do is just continue to say that you're not good, for they can keep the money coming in. And then, so I always thought that they appointed somebody to you or whatever, because, and then, it's no money involved. It's just that you need that service. But so what happened was I had to go onto the Google or the Yahoo search on the internet for a fucking psychiatrist. So I found one, went out to that shit, paid the motherfucker $300. $300. That was my whole check at the time. $300 I had to pay this motherfucker. I came in there, shit, I'm like, man, he's like, what services you need from me? I said, man, I don't need no services from you. All I'm trying to do is get my license, and I need this paper filled out. They said that they wanted me to bring this to my psychiatrist, but he said, oh, but I'm not your psychiatrist. I said, I know, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't have a psychiatrist. I think they made a mistake and gave me that shit for me to fill out. You know what I'm saying? And like, oh, well, okay, I'll check it out. Come through the office, made an appointment with the man. Came in that shit, paid the motherfucker $300, $340. I think it was $340, dog. $340. Just to see this motherfucker, bro. Like, it was a lot of money. I don't know if that's how much my check was. And I had to pay this motherfucker $295. I think it was $295. And my check was about $345. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. My check was $345, and I had to pay him like $295. So after I paid this bitch $295, I think I had like $50 in my pocket at the end of the day. So I was able to go to work, get something to eat. So after I came into his office, I gave him the paper. And he looked at the paper, he filled it out. And then, but I was happy. I was like, oh shit, straight. So he filled it out. I paid him the money. Wow, all right, bomb, I'm out of here. Bitch, I ain't got to see this dude no more. He filled out, I signed it. But at the bottom of that shit, it said that he need to see me more. He don't know if I'm able to drive. So that means, though, I had to come out the pocket another $295 to see him again. He said, and then I called him. I said, bro, why did you put that on there? He said, man, I got to see you more. I don't know this and that, this and this. So that means, I told him, I said, bro, I don't have any money to pay you, dog. Like, I paid $200, I don't have that money. Like, I was telling him that shit. And then he was like, well, I got to see you 4 more times. He said 4 more in order for me to fill out that paper. I was like, man. So I already seen him 1 time, $300. Now I got to see him what? 3, 6. It's $900, $1,000. I had to pay this nigga I had to pay that nigga. He already seen me once. He wanted to see me 3 more times, dog, in order for me to fill that paper. And at the time, bitch, I wasn't getting that like that, dog. So what happened? I didn't get my license. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get my license. And then it took me like 3 years. I had some money. I think I had caught me I went to I got injured on the job. After 3 years, I got injured on the job. And then they was giving me a check every month. It was about like 500. No. They would give me like 800 every 2 weeks. So I took the 800 and I had called a psychiatrist. I tried to call the same psychiatrist, but I don't know. I don't think I was in the area. Some shit happened where I ain't calling back. I went to somebody else and I had the same paper. Sent him the paper, man. I paid him less. I think I paid this motherfucker $30 to do a psychiatrist like FaceTime. So I didn't have to go to his office. We just did a FaceTime. He asked me questions. Yo, do you feel like killing yourself? I'm like, no. Are you on any medications? I said, no. You know, just regular ass shit. Next thing you know, I sent him the paper. He filled it out. And he said, yeah, I could drive. I was like, great. So, it took me 3 years, dog. And that it was supposed to happen like that from the front, from the jump. But that shit didn't happen like that. So, he filled the paper out. I got my license. After the psychiatrist do fill the paper out, I sent that shit to the DMV in Tallahassee, and they said, yeah, you gonna get your license. So they gave me a pass paper, whatever the fuck that shit is, a motherfucking a green light if I could drive and shit. Man, and then what else they try to do, man? They try to fuck me over, right? They try to say that I had to fill that shit out every fucking 3 months. Bro, like, they was coming up with some bullshit. Like, man, that shit phony, man. I don't believe that shit was real. I think my family had something to do with that shit, dog. Like, they was coming up with bullshit. Oh, you gotta fill out this type of paper every month, every 2 weeks or some shit in order to keep your license. I said, what? I said, fuck no. I don't have a psychiatrist. And then she like, well, all right. So then that's when they don't send that shit to me, or, you know what I'm saying? Cause it didn't make any sense, bro. Like, why the fuck you gonna send me that shit when I don't have a fucking psychiatrist? And I told them motherfucker that shit. You know what I'm saying? She said, oh, you got to fill this out every 2 weeks, every week. I'm like, bro, I just pay. I said, man, is y'all gonna appoint somebody to me, bitch? Cause I gotta pay $300 every fucking time I go see a psychiatrist because I don't have a psychiatrist. Why y'all sending me that shit? And then she like, well, all right. And then they ain't never send me that shit no more, man. That shit fucking bullshit. All the shit they fucking do, they try to set me up. They try to make it seem like I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? So now I get my license, and then now I'm at this bitch ass job, and we got this old stank pussy ass hoe trying to fuck with me, and then trying to play the little crazy card, try to say that I'm crazy. Oh, he's crazy. We get to fuck with him. And I'm like, man, whatever y'all fucking do is all fucking hearsay, bitch. All that shit don't mean, that shit ain't gonna do shit to me. That's all these motherfuckers do, try to pull fast ones. That's all they try to do, pull a little fast one. Oh, he did this, like, what? What you mean what I did? Show the proof that I did that shit, bitch asshole. Ain't got no proof. All this do hearsay. All this, oh, he did this, like, what? When did I do that? They try to play the crazy card. They thinking that, oh, they more believable than me. Like, man, if you ain't got no proof, you can't show that shit. That's all they fucking do. Even the cops do some shit like that. Now I'm finna go here. I'm going to this bitch ass courthouse to go see this stank pussy ass fat hoe. I'm gonna cut that hoe off, man, cause this hoe try to get me locked up. And then we got the bitch ass cops doing the same shit right now. They try to play the little crazy card. Now they made me go see a psychiatrist because of the 911 call. It's like, how the fuck you gonna try me? You bitch blocked my number. You blocked my number from calling a non-emergency. So I had to call 911. Then they want to put the little 911 shit on me. Then they want to call me crazy. Like, oh, let him go see a psychiatrist. Like, how the fuck you gonna make me see a psychiatrist when... Dawg, these people are crazy. They the motherfuckers is the one that's crazy, but they just don't see it. I kind of feel that way, dawg. Like, they got problems, right? But they so blinded because they got all they people around them. You know what I'm saying? To make them feel like they got somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? And then they make them feel like they normal. But, you know, it is what it is, dawg. I gotta say this camera footage, but when I get to the fucking courthouse, I know that fat bitch ain't gonna be there. She ain't gonna talk because I shut that hoe down yesterday. The hoe kept on trying to say, "Oh, but you called 911." That's what they bamming on you. I'm like, bro, how the fuck you gonna block me from calling you blocked me from calling a non-emergency? So I had no choice but to call 911. But you called 911 for a non-emergency. I know I did, bitch, but they blocked me from calling the regular non-emergency. I had no other point of contact. But you still called 911. How the fuck, what else number I'm gonna call? You know what I'm saying? What else number I'm gonna call? And she kept on saying that shit. But you called 911. You called 911 for a non-emergency. I know that. But bitch, they blocked my number from calling non-emergency. I know, but you still called 911. You didn't have an emergency. I know that. They blocked me from calling. So we going back and forth about the same old bullshit, bro. I'm like, and then I told her, I said I called 911 and I had no emergency. She said, exactly. That's why we're getting you. So I said, exactly. I said, you right. I called a non-emergency number, but my number was blocked. Why the fuck my number was blocked? And then that's when she shut up. Oh, you know what, man? I can't talk to you. I was like, what? Because I'm going back and forth. I'm like, bruh, she just made the point that I was trying to get to her. She said, you called 911. I said, I called 911 for a non-emergency. I said, I had called 911 and I ain't having no emergency. She said, exactly. That's why you're in the situation now. I said, exactly. They blocked my number so that they stopped me from calling the non-emergency. So I had no other choice but to call a non-emergency number, to call 911. And then when I shut that hoe down, that's when she tried to say, oh, I gotta leave, I gotta go. Man, get your fat ass off the fucking phone, bitch. I don't want to talk to that hoe trying to set me up. These motherfuckers think they smart, they slick, they can do whatever the fuck they want to do, bro. It's like, I gotta put this shit on the news or some shit. But you know that shit ain't gonna happen. But you know it is what it is though, dog. I gotta say this shit for when I go to that shit, if I can see if I could, put that bitch out.